Good evening and welcome to my hobby bench once again, where I have yet another engine in my hands. And this is an engine that has never been featured on my channel, and this was actually made possible by some of the engines that I sold to acquire this engine. Now this engine has quite an interesting story to it, and I'm going to share some images here with you in a second. So there's a bit of a story that goes with it, and if you're not interested in listening to the story about this engine, when I'm editing this, I'll tell you what timestamp to go to so you can actually see what's happening. See the engine and get to the real meat of it. But I think this story is rather interesting, so I'm going to share it. So this is one of the reasons why, this exactly is one of the reasons why I like shopping eBay for engine deals, because I like to pride myself in being a person that can find really new engines, or at least lightly used engines, for really good prices. And those of you that look at eBay or shop eBay know that you can find a wide variety of prices on eBay, and some of them are just absolutely stupid prices. But every now and then you come across sellers that really don't know what they're selling or what they're doing. They don't know the hobby at all, and that's exactly what this is. So without any further delay, I'm just going to tell you this is a Super Tigre engine, and I'm going to show you the ads, because what happened was a new friend, his name is Floyd, he sent me an email. He said, hey, look at this, I wonder what is the deal with this engine. So he sent me the eBay link, and I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, to me that looks like a brand new engine, but it's incomplete. It doesn't have a carb and that kind of stuff. And here's the ad that I'm talking about. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, that really looks like a nice engine. It looks brand new. I was zooming in because there's really good pictures. I was zooming in, I'm like, man, this just looks like a brand new engine to me, and it's weird. So then I think, well, I'm gonna go and click on seller's other items and see what else he's got there. Well, the next, let me scroll here on my computer so I can talk about the same image. The next thing I saw on his site was this ad. And I'm thinking, whoa, that's interesting, because now this ad is a completely separate ad. It shows a box, a muffler, and I see a carb and instruction manuals, but yet the ad says silent muffler, muffler only, muffler only. And I'm like, really? I'm seeing more than that. So if I scroll down in the description, it says what you see in the pictures is what you get. So I'm like, okay, well, so there's it's confusing. It says muffler only, but yet I see a carb and, the instructions in the header. So, and the carb is in a package and it looks sealed, and the instructions look sealed. So I'm really looking at this. So I send the seller a message saying, what's the deal with this ad here? It says muffler only, but yet I see a carburetor in these images, and then you say, well, everything you see is in the picture. Well, he responds almost immediately saying, well, I don't know anything about, in fact, I think I even may have his response, something to the effect that, I don't know anything about this, but I thought it was just a muffler. And I'm like, okay, so how do you not know that you've got these two things, and one of them says Super, and they both say Super Tigre on them. They both say G75 on them. The first ad is an engine that just doesn't have the muffler or the carb installed, and it's got some JTEC muffler installed. And then you've got the box that clearly, these things, it's just beyond me that this person didn't understand, or maybe it was intentional, didn't understand that these two things went together. So I have no idea where they came from or anything. So anyway, I took a chance and just said, the hell with it. I'm going to buy both of these things, because the price of both of these items is less than I've ever seen one of these brand new engines, which I'm going under the assumption it's a brand new engine, than I've ever seen one before. So what we're going to do now is, this is the engine in the engine mount as you saw in that ad, and I'm going to open this up first and see if my assumption is correct, that this is actually a new engine that just simply was put on this engine mount, and with a JTEC muffler on there. I think that I'm going to be able to determine whether that's true or not, because this is my smell test. But so here it is. Let me crank up the light intensity here a bit. So here it is. Here is this Super Tigre G75 engine. And the first thing I want to do here is take this tape off the carb, or the crankcase, the carb opening, and see if I can find where it's all taped together here. And that's a mess. That's that gooey stuff, I'm gonna have to clean that off. So if I look inside here, this engine's never been run. I can tell you that right now. For some reason, the lighting here on this doesn't look very bright. Let me make an adjustment on my... Stand by 1 second. Okay, that's a little bit better. I raised the ISO on this because it just wasn't looking bright enough. So yes, this engine is new, never been run. Let me get and I can tell that right away from just smelling inside here and looking in there. So I did score a pretty good deal, it looks like here. This should be a Super Tigre plug. And Super Tigre plugs typically didn't have any kind of markings on them, but yeah. Yep, that engine's brand new, never been used. So we've got a new engine here. It's a new Super Tigre G75 engine. Now the most important thing here is the second ad with the box. I'm going to bring the box into view here shortly. The box, I could tell this from the ad because, like I said, there are pretty good pictures, and I could tell on the box it says made in Italy. And I don't have the tools with me at this moment to take this off. Wow, that's going to be really interesting to try and get that off. Maybe I have something here. I don't know if I don't think this is gonna. I don't have anything that's gonna fit that. This is gonna fit either. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of a tough one to try and get those out. I'm gonna have to find a little bitty wrench somehow. But anyway, I think I can peer under here, and it does say, boy, that's tough to see. Yep, made in Italy. So that was the made in Italy by Super Tigre. So that was the other interesting thing, was, is this actually an Italian-made Super Tigre engine, or is it the Chinese knockoffs? I won't say they're knockoffs. It's just when they moved their manufacturing operation in China. The only thing that sucks is it's got all this goo on here from the masking tape, and I'm gonna have to deal with that. So let me pull this box into view here and show you the contents of this box. So I'm super psyched right now because this is a brand new engine and that kicks ass. Right here it says made in Italy, and I think you can see that on one of the angles on that ad. If I look in here, look at this. Perfect. Oh no, they aren't. It has been opened. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got Super Tigre decals, more Super Tigre decals, that's even cooler, and this is a big manufacturer advertising brochure. I wonder if it has any dates on it. Here's the G75 ringed engine right here. This is just so awesome. So awesome. The thing that's really beautiful about this is a rare book to get here. Wait a minute, is this the one I'm thinking of? No, it's not. Bummer. No, this is the more modern one. Shoot. Is it? I had a Super Tigre engine, I think it was a G90, that had a different book in it that was actually, I think it had some Italian written in it. So this looks like, from the instructions here, this looks like this is probably one of the last iterations of the Italian made ones before they moved them, because they've got they got Hobbyco products listed here, chicken stick and stuff like that. The manual I had very detailed instructions on how to set up the carb with the spray bar. And of course I no longer have that engine or that manual, but it was one of those things where it was really, oh, here, carb maintenance, yeah, so this isn't it. I was excited because I thought I was actually going to get the old Italian original instructions that told you. There was a paragraph, and it's in one of my videos. I have to look it up and show you, where I posted on the video. It says, it shows exactly how you set up one of these Mark V carbs, and with the spray bar orientation and all that kind of stuff, and how you tune the carb. Really good instruction manual. That kind of sucks a little bit, but either way, this is still an Italian made Super Tiger engine. So here's the exhaust. Super Tiger says Italy on it. Here's the manifold with the screws and the pressure adapter, or pressure nipple that you screw into the. And then of course here's our beautiful carb that this has never been opened. This hasn't been opened at all. Probably one of the best carbs ever made. These Super Tiger Mark V carbs, I think they're called Mark V. Just really, really good carbs. So I'm super psyched about this. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is finding something to take this silly ass exhaust off here, because nothing can happen without that. Get this engine off here, find my Goo Gone, as much as I hate using that stuff, Goo Gone that masking tape residue off the engine and clean it up a little bit, and then put this engine all back in the box. Brand new in box engine. Just a heck of a score here, and it was just kind of interesting that seller, and when you go, and you can tell when you get a seller like that, because you may see something that looks too good to be true, or a really good deal or whatever, then you go and click on the other seller's items, and it's like Barbie dolls and figurines and stuff, and that was the only glow engine he had. So it's like, I've seen many sellers like that before. They'll have one or two glow engines. They obviously don't know anything about them. The description's wrong, or they don't know. You can just tell. And then they got all these other little trinket things that they're selling. So it's one of those things where they've cleaned out somebody's house or an estate sale. They don't know what they got. They put a price on it. They probably don't do a whole lot of research. And then people like me come along and get good deals. So that's the video. Yes, this is going to be a runner. I've never run a G75 before on the channel, so obviously this is going to be a runner engine. So look for this thing to be featured here in the near future. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.